Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. The X-Band Show Afternoon Delight is in effect. The A-Train Arlington Lane, always joining me on the show is my partner in crime, my right-hand man, my brother from another mother. I love him dearly.
Well, what's going on, people?
What's going on? Hey, I can hear you, man.
Oh, okay. It's a little crazy.
Hot water.
Hot water. Oh, you can't see the cup.
I can't see it.
It's a little crazy. It is draft week for the XFL in Arlington, if I'm not mistaken. Right? If I'm not mistaken, you are going to be in Vegas, right?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Now, me, I don't know if I'm going to be, but I do got to say one thing. Andrew Cunningham, I'm glad you popped on because a certain individual here in St. Louis saying that they started the cacao, right? Cacao started on August 28th of 2019 on this little show right here. And if I'm not mistaken, Arlington, the guy who started the cacao, right? The guy who started the cacao was Javier, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right?
We got to go back. We got to go back to the history books and see, man.
So cacao started right here on this show. So there's your little history lessons. But hey, thank you, Riz. We do appreciate it. Make sure you go listen to Riz if you live here in St. Louis. But we don't care about that. All we care about it is the draft time. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh. Hey, did you see that a certain league just straight stole?
Did you think that wasn't going to happen, bro? I mean,
they just instantly stole the Thunder.
I know, right? I mean, like, come on. You really didn't think that was going to happen, bro.
Just straight stole the Thunder. I'm waiting for a certain individual to pop his head in.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
Who's that individual? We have a guest today, and you're actually going to be on another show later on this afternoon. So why don't you tell everybody where that's going to be?
Seriously? It's happening?
Yeah. Aren't you going to be on a show?
I don't know.
When he comes on, won't we?
We'll find out when he come on. But in all, I did do a show this week. It's going to be out soon. I did a show in St. Louis with Don Glenn. I think it's Taking Shots from the Bleachers. I think is the name of the show.
Something like that. Yeah. Something like that.
And forgive me, Don, for not getting that all the way together.
Mm-hmm.
Let me make sure I got that correct before I even just jump off like that.
Water.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Talking sports on the bleachers is what it's called.
That's what it's called. Is that what it's called?
But yeah, we talked some XFL on that, and so can't wait to for people to tune in and check out that episode.
That is true.
But yeah, so yeah, man, we it's here, man. We finally here. XFL Draft Week is here. I am going to be in Vegas, but I'm going only for a vacation, man. You know what I mean?
Well, so look, we sent our press credentials in, and apparently we are not credentialed enough, but that's okay. That's all right. No, you know, we hold no hard feelings towards the XFL. We get it. They have a partnership with the with ESPN and all that stuff, so it's all good. You know what I mean? But we'll still cover the XFL like we had in 2020. You know, so, you know, I mean, it's going to be okay. You know what I mean, Arlington?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Hey, as a matter of fact, tonight, folks, I know today is the quarterback selection process for the league, but also for the very first time, the XFL, this current incarnation, will have its first content show with Drive to the XFL Draft on ESPN2 tonight at 10 o'clock on the East.
That is right.
Unfortunately for me, I will not be able to see it.
Right. Now, Arlington, let's talk about that. You know, they got the partnership with ESPN, right? And we had talked about this a lot of times on our show who is going to be the exclusive provider of the XFL and all of that stuff, right? And we'd speculate it, because I mean, covering the UFC, Arlington, and covering Blues, covering the Houston Rockets doesn't make you credentialed enough, right? But anyways, back to what I was saying. Shameless plugs, because I will be covering the UFC at the Apex Center here coming up very soon. I will be in town on Saturday, Arlington, so I will miss you by a day, Arlington.
Darn.
I know. Well, I'm covering the Apex UFC Fight Night card, so that'd be kind of cool, But anyways, back to what we were saying. It sucks that I'm going to miss you, but oh well. Can't you stay an extra day?
We'll see.
Right. But anyways, we've been saying that the XFL's primary landing spot would be ESPN, right? Mm-hmm. Now, we had heard from a certain individual on another show that they had talked about the XFL being in a doing a what is that? Oh, been filming for the past year, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how this goes for the XFL, in my opinion. With being on ESPN, I think I love that it's ESPN. I get why they're doing what they're doing because of the relationship with The Rock and Disney and all of that stuff, right? I think it's great. Now, do I wish they could have been a little more forthcoming? Yes, of course. I think we all could have, right? But in these last, we're talking 3-4 weeks?
Yeah.
They've been very, very forthcoming on stuff. There goes Mark Bland. So they've been very, very forthcoming about the XFL and everything that they've been wanting to do as of late, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, there are a lot of rumors out there. There's a lot of I've made 1,000 speculations. Here's what I can tell you this. Arlington will be in Vegas. I don't know if Arlington's covering the XFL. I will be in Vegas on Friday. I come into town on Friday because I'm doing the UFC event, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know if Arlington's going to be able to cover it. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, we're still going to do our thing, are we not, Arlington?
Of course.
We're still going to do our thing in 2020. And you guys are going to love it, and we're going to love you guys for it. So Arlington, let's get to it. So today, the draft starts. Draft kickoff day actually started off yesterday, right?
Yeah.
With the draft selection. And now, basically, Arlington, if anybody hasn't, Mark, it's a long story. I can tell you later, right? So if anybody doesn't know how this is going to work, right? So it's going to be a snake type of draft, right? There are going to be 11 rounds. Teams will take turns, drafting players with picks, and then reversing the order in the following round, right? Mm-hmm. So now, here's how it works, Arlington. The team that destroyed the XFL with their stupid beer snake, the DC Ronas, get the first pick.
Why they have to be the ones that ruined it, man?
Listen, did it not shut down after Rona snake?
Actually, it was before that even got to it. But
shut down before the Rona snake. I am no longer calling DC the D word. They are the DC Rona snake.
The Rona snake now?
The Ronas. That's what they're called. The DC Ronas.
That's what you're doing now?
Yes, that's what I'm calling. I got a little bit of feedback on your end, bro. So the DC Ronas get the first pick, with the Battlehawks getting pick number 2. And then the best logo in the league, I don't care what that poll says, the best graphic and team logo in the league, the San Antonio Brahmas get the 3rd pick, with the Orlando Guardians, the Vegas Vipers, where you will be just in a few hours, Arlington. Then the Seattle Sea Dragons, which is Reid's team. And then you have the Arlington Renegades with pick 7, and then pick 8, the Roughnecks. Now, that goes back, then it reverses, right, as a snake part. So basically, here is the draft order, right? They broke it all down. Somebody broke it all down on the XFL website, right? Yeah, see, DC did start it. DC started the coronavirus. So for your skill players in round 1 or skill phase, you have DC. And then for the DB phase, you have Orlando. Then D7 phase, you have Las Vegas. Then the O-line phase, you have Houston. Specialty, you have Arlington. And then the open phase, you have Seattle, right?
I'm curious. We're going to want to see what my team does. The Arlington Renegades.
Doctor, you know where the call started at. You know what show it started on. So then when you go to pick 2, for all the phases again, you have St. Louis picking 2nd. And then in the DB phase, you have San Antonio. D7 phase, Seattle. The O-line phase, Arlington. Specialists, the Ronas. And then open phase.
You keep going with this Rona stuff.
You can go on XFL.com and they break it all down. Right? What's so funny? What's so funny?
You and calling this DC team the Ronas, man. Like, stop.
See, look, right here. What does Andrew say?
I still think, man, that snake had to be a couple grams. That was a lot of beer, man. That was a lot of beer.
It was a lot of beer. Of
course, James, everyone says they started the caca. We get that.
You're right, James. Everybody says it. But, James, you've been a loyal fan, so you know where it started at. We don't care. We don't. We hold nothing against anybody. We don't even give a rat's ass anymore.
But anyway, with the story, with that being said, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see these quarterbacks that is coming out today. And a couple of names that were said to be off the board, but I don't believe it's going to be off the board as of yet. The name De'Aaron King came off.
Well, he's definitely off the board because it's been announced that
as of right now, he's going to be fine. Because you got to remember, when season ends, he's only to the practice squad, and they'll have until year's end. And once that's up, he could get back into the XFL once. If he's assigned to a certain team. So only just letting you know up front, that was one of the names that was put out there was De'Aaron King.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're absolutely right. It was De'Aaron King. And like I said, we saw who, De'Aaron King's name is off the board, right? So we do know that because he did sign with right, Mr. Vance. Won us the dumbest chance in sports history. You're absolutely correct.
We know that. We know that.
It is one of the dumbest chances.
We know
but
that.
The people in St. Louis, and listen, Coach Beck, Coach Russ Brandon, everybody has accepted it. And,
it is what it is.
Yeah. So everybody knows, right? We all know. And then they've all accepted it. So, look right here, like right here, what Brian says, we're going to have to wait till the draft there, which is true. I mean, you never know, right? You never know. It's going to be interesting. I know that there's a lot of rumors out there that Jordan Ta'amu is, didn't get his contract out. But I mean, how true is that? Right? How true is that, right? So It's funny. So I pull up quarterbacks, right? And ESPN just today at 5:00 had put an article out, 5:45 Central Standard Time. So here are the quarterbacks, right? Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
We have Eric Dungy, Dungey, 26 from Syracuse, 6'4", 226. Pro experience includes the Giants, Browns, the Renegades in 2020, and the Bengals, right? Then we have Caleb Eleby, Eleby, 22. Western Michigan, 6'1", 290. Then we have Quentin Dormy.
Dormady.
Yep. He's 26.
You want me to run through these names real quick?
I always mess names up.
Got DeAndre Francois, of course, Florida State and Hampton. Of course, De'Aaron King, the Houston guy, which would make sense for Houston to get him.
Go to ESPN.com. They have it.
What does that say, sir? What does that say on your screen?
But they don't have De'Aaron King on here. De'Aaron King's gone, bro.
Yeah, they probably removed it. I'm only going off of Kevin Seifert. Shout out to Kevin Seifert. Dude,
go off of the one that was today at 5:45 Central Standard Time.
They got another one? Okay.
Yeah.
Was Jalen McClendon's name on there?
Yes, his name is on here from Baylor.
Steven Montez's name on there?
Is who?
Steven Montez.
Yeah, his name 25, Colorado, 6'5", 235, the Washington football team and Detroit Lions.
All right, with Juwan Pass, is his name on there?
Age 25, Louisville and Prairie View A&M, 6'4", 228.
Hey, that's another Texas guy. There you go.
Experience, none.
Drew Plitt, is his name on there?
Let's see. Age 24, Ball State, 6'2", 206. Cincinnati Eagles wavered before the season.
Is Anthony Russo's name on there?
He's the guy right underneath him from Temple, Michigan State, 6'4", 240. NFL experience, none.
What about our guy Brandon Silvers?
You know what? I just did see his name. 28 years old, Troy College, 6'2", 218. The Memphis Express, New York Jets, and Seattle Dragons.
And the rumored newest St. Louis Battlehawk, Ryan Willis.
And Mr. Willis is 26, Kansas, Virginia Tech, 6'11", 6'4", 211. He was for the linemen for the spring league and the Chicago.
He was MVP, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
MVP in the spring league, and I think in the championship game, if I'm not mistaken.
You're right, Brian. Listen, Cordell Stewart did get a callback. You were right. Cordell Stewart did get a callback. But
can you get these names right? No, I'm muting you because you just don't. Can you read? You can't read for nothing, man. You gonna sit there and call Cordell Stewart? You looking at the name and it don't say Stewart on there. You looking at the name and it don't say Stewart. Now, how the hell can you sit there and look at that and say that says Stewart when it say Jones?
Because I'm an idiot.
Why?
I'm an idiot.
You ain't got to be one.
Listen, I'm going to be honest. Look, the good doctor
ain't got to be no idiot.
Come on, listen. Look, the good doctor says he wants Willis from Kansas, right? I don't want to.
But I'm back on you, sir. Come on, man.
Yes, I am hooked on phonics. You are absolutely correct.
Come on, bro.
Phonics. Get on with the show. Come on,
dude. You ain't worse than Terry Bradshaw, man. You're not worse than Terry Bradshaw, man. Just letting you know up front. You're not
that
worse.
Is true. I'm not as bad.
Okay. So, hey, I'm gonna need you to be better.
Look,
Terry Bradshaw.
Listen, there might be some funny stuff in the cup. I don't know.
I think so, man. I think that's what's gotten you jacked up today. We got to stay focused. Yeah. Stay focused. Hey, Cordell is now. There are going to be plenty of people that's not on that list that could get callbacks. Even one Jordan Te'amu. Yeah, that name could be Sandy. You already know I got to get on him every single time, man. So I just want him to be better. That's all. I just want Dirty to be better at something. You don't have to be an idiot all of his life.
Well, that's not going to happen.
Damn. See, I'm trying. That's why I work so hard to keep that from happening. So,
all right, get on with the show.
Okay, that's what I said. Jordan Te'amu's name could be thrown into the mix because somebody didn't throw his name out there when they were making their announcement with the other league.
That is true.
And great observations by those that were tuning in to that press conference. But so it's a lot of people that could come back, and I love to throw his name out there. Jordan is still young. Jordan is 25 years old, so he's still got some football in him, you know.
Yes,
and he's going to want a shot at any given moment, any given time.
Look, here's the thing, though, right? I understand that Jordan said that he might want to come back to the XFL, right? But what if you're already guaranteed a spot to play in the USFL, and then you come back to the XFL? Do you really want to give that spot up? You know what I'm saying? Do you really want to give that chance up? You know, you're right. It is rumored that more than just one USFL quarterback is coming. I mean, Brian Scott said that he was been assigned, that he's bolting.
He's bolting to the XFL.
But again, though, do you really want to take that chance?
Why not? Why not?
I mean, I guess.
Why would you not want to take that chance?
I mean, look, again, like I said, I guess.
Listen, I understand the USFL got a season off their belt. Yeah, I'm going to say the league. That's what it was. They got a season off their belt. They're getting ready for season 2. Got a new city coming into play. Hey, it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen. Like, I know everybody's saying it's not a spring football war, but that's what the fun of this is. That's what I believe, without a doubt, we got a whole year of football. Just about. If you really think about it, Dirty, we're going to have a whole year of football come 2023.
Yeah, so I don't understand why anybody would be complaining right now about the football.
I get that. But
you know what I'm saying?
But from a quarterback standpoint, you want to go for where you think is going to get the best bang for your buck.
I mean, I guess if you say so, I guess. But
and
I mean,
a lot of people, come on, man, think about it. I know it's gonna seem like it's the popular thing, but a lot of people are going to want to play for the XFL because it's Dwayne Johnson. I'm gonna play for a league. Some will say that, and others will play. I just want to play football.
Right. I mean, now look, I mean, you do have some outside chances of Martavius Bryant and Mohamed Sue. We just saw them talk about that they're going to get there. You know what I mean? And Brian, this might be, I mean, look, this might be a viable option somewhere down the line. It literally might be a viable option that we might see a merger between the two leagues. I mean, it's a very...
Could you imagine... I'm just throwing out. Just don't think too deeply in it. Just thinking about it. A year with February to potentially June, with 16 cities participating. Down the line, it almost will make it seem like, hey, it sounds like y'all trying to compete against us, and that's not the case. At least right now.
Right, and you're absolutely right. That's the way it sounds. But, I mean, as we've heard from the XFL, right, they have said that they are not competing. I mean, we heard it right from Jerry's mouth. We are not competing with the NFL. We're not doing it. We're not doing it at all, right?
Wink,
wink. Wink, wink. You know, so, I mean, it's all in how you look at it. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
It's really all on how you look at it. Like, what do you want to see?
The main thing that what the XFL is going to have to accomplish is getting a season off the ground. Season off the ground and a season completed.
Correct.
And then you have to get a second season off the ground and a second season completed.
Now, look, I mean, here's the thing, though, right? Look, I mean, I know everybody's, you know, and it's awful funny because look who just announced today their stuff, right? USFL just announced their stuff, right?
Right.
So it's interesting to see how that's going to go. You know what I mean? I mean, here's the one thing we can say. And look, we're not bashing the XFL or anything like that. We haven't even played it down in the XFL. USFL has. They're already doing a second season. Right. It's already been announced. You know what I'm saying?
And you wonder, like, how in the world is XFL getting more hype than the USFL?
I think that has a lot to do with social media presence. But again,
and 2 words. You ready?
What?
The Rock.
Yeah, I mean, right. That is true. That is absolutely true. And it doesn't help. And again, it doesn't help that The Rock is there, right? Now, out of those names, Arlington, right?
Okay.
I'm trying to find the Mike Mitchell article where he reported it, but it's changed since this. And you're right, Andrew. What is year 2 draft going to look like? You're right. What is it going to look like? Nobody really knows. But again, we're starting to get ahead of ourselves. We told you guys a few weeks ago that Vince was going to pull the plug after week 3 of the XFL in 2020 because he didn't think it was doing what it should. He said he was going to pull the plug, but people told him to hold on. He was going to pull it. So there possibly wasn't even going to be a second season of the XFL because Vince wasn't happy with the way it was performing. But again, Sandy, what makes the XFL? Why is the XFL so much better? We don't know what this carnation looks like. We haven't seen anything of this carnation. That's all I'm saying. So how do we know it's much better? And then you're right, Brian, just like with this, Jim Haslett and Wade Phillips both confirmed that the rules from 2020 will be carried over. And that's what a lot of people wanted to know. So that's good that they say it, that we have that. Denzel Washington says, but they have said that they want the highest level of football in the spring. Exactly right. That's what I'm talking about.
So basically what you just said there and said,
you want.
So basically what you just said, Dirty, is you want this to be the USFL of the 80s, right?
Which one?
That was when Denzel's comment. Denzel said he want to be the highest level of football in spring. That's what the USFL was back in the 80s. I wanted to step right above college. Is what I want it to be. So you're going to get that with college rules, but my thing is, I guess what I'm looking at is the difference between minor and professional, which it is professional, but my thing is we say all the time when we get professional, if you're going to be in big cities, you cannot be considered minor.
I agree. Look, I agree
at all. You can't have major metropolitan cities and say we're minor. That just don't flow as you expect. Granted, in St. Louis with the Cardinals and stuff, Memphis has got the Redbirds and whatnot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Memphis is a major metropolitan city in Tennessee, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's minor. True. Also, I think Nashville, who is trying to get into Major League Baseball, I'm using this as a point that they have a minor league team, but they're also trying to get major.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
These are major metropolitan cities. And when you think of minor leagues, you're thinking, and I'm just using it as an example, and I'm not trying to demean anybody's city because it's important to them as well. It's Springfield, Missouri, when you have the Cardinals, right? Or you have Quad Cities, right? When you have Peoria with the Chiefs in baseball. Those are considered minor league cities. That way you get a chance to play in the bigger major metropolitan city.
Right. Now, here's the one thing we do know about quarterbacks for sure. We only know that there's 2 quarterbacks that have signed with the XFL.
At least from what we know.
Right. That's Cole McDonald and Elon Davis. Those are the only 2. The only 2. Yes, Vegas does have the minor league version of the Athletics. Those are the only 2 quarterbacks that we know that are signed with the NFL. The XFL. They weren't on that draft list that we talked about. So where do they play in at? You know what I'm saying?
And the whole thing that we've been talking about with this quarterback thing, like we want to see the quarterbacks not assigned. If they are assigned, they both fighting for a job to be the starting quarterback of the team.
And see now, I mean, we've heard, yes, soon to be major. You're right. We have heard that, that the teams are not going to be, quarterbacks are not going to be assigned. They are going to be picked, and they are actually going to play play for their position, fight it out, right? So that's going to be the good thing, right? I mean, we could see there's no telling. Nobody really knows, you know what I'm saying? Nobody really knows what's going on. We just know that they're doing a draft. They're doing a quarterback thing today.
Literally an hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
And you can go to xfl.com/draft for those that are going to tune in.
Right. So we do know that. I mean,
I'm pulling up this comment right here. So he feels like the teams being based out of Texas will hurt the local connection. Not necessarily so. They're going to do that for practice, right? I have a great feeling that, and you already know that the XFL are working on those logistics. is making sure that those players that get selected to those teams are going out into the community, to their respective communities, wherever they may be. Granted, Arlington is going to probably have the best because they're not going to have to go anywhere.
Right. Now, Coach Beck did, Russ Brandon did say that they are going to be coming into their cities like a few days beforehand, right?
Andrew.
Right. So he did say that they would be coming into their cities like a day or two before the games. But again, here's what I'm going to tell you guys right now. Look, that they're located in Dallas, whether anybody wants to believe it or not. That's where they're located at. Whether you like it or not, their main headquarters is in Arlington, Texas, right? So we all know that. So that's where their headquarters is going to be. So don't be surprised if all the teams for maybe a few years practice in that area. Don't be surprised if that happens. I'm not saying it's going to. I don't know if it's going to. But I guarantee you there's a good chance that it could be a couple of years where they might be in Arlington, Texas. Oh, and look at this. We got him because I know he's got to get ready for a show here in an hour.
We got a little bit of time with him.
Hour and a half. But he doesn't have his hat on, so he looks a little goofy without the hat.
This is a rare. And Arlington, I was watching the Commanders. Arlington messaged me last night, and then I was very intoxicated by the end of everything. So I totally forgot. And then Dirty texted me today and said, I thought you were coming on the show. So I ran upstairs. I haven't showered yet. We're here. So I have no hat.
Oh, great. Now I can smell you through the
I am dirty.
Reid.
Ladies and gentlemen, Reid Johnson of the Markcast is joining us on the Afternoon Delight this afternoon. And hey, Reid, first off, I gotta say congratulations to your Commanders, man. They pulled it off. Got the I know you were ecstatic last night after that win.
I just didn't want to be embarrassed. As long as we weren't embarrassed, we came away with the W. I don't care. Face mask, doesn't matter. We came through with the W. So,
especially after, we XFL fans here are big on Taylor Heineke, especially after he slid down, took the knee, and all of a sudden when he got hit, talking about flag, flag. He put his hands up, and it was a wrap. It was a wrap after that.
All right, now Reid, I know you're going to be doing a quarterback special, starting in just a little less than an hour, right?
Hour 50 or hour 10, yeah.
Hour 10. Now, I was going to join you, so I'm just going to crowbar Arlington in to join you, so he can talk about the stuff.
Perfect. Well, we'll get through. I think we're going to have some time. John Vogel and I are going to be doing kind of the analysis when everything comes down. You guys should hop on. And then I just got confirmation from the league that we're going to have one of the quarterbacks calling in too. So that should be exciting. It might be a little delayed because there's a lot of moving pieces there, but we will get that. So we'll figure all that out. But yeah, 10:45, we'll be on the stream, themarkcast.com/watch.
Now, Reid, so who did they tell you what quarterback or what team it would be for?
No, I think no, and I get it. I mean, I wouldn't divulge anything anyway, but yeah, no, I was talking to a couple of my producer Max and people here. They're like, well, come on, tell me. I'm like, I don't know. They won't tell me.
Yeah, because Arlington will be in Vegas. He's going to try to get into to cover the draft, but I don't know how that's going to work. But I mean, what are you expecting for who would you think is going to be the first pick?
I wasn't going to the draft, dude. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's what I just said. Who do you think is going to be the first pick?
People seem really hyped for Ben DiNucci just because I think he's the only NFL one. I will say the list that's out there is not comprehensive of everyone that's been with Jordan Palmer's training camp. So I think that because of the USFL contracts and we know that Brian Scott was obviously down training with Jordan Palmer, they cannot do anything until December 31st when their contract's up. So the supplemental draft that the XFL is going to do in January could potentially be more interesting in certain positions and quarterbacking and things than this one, just because they're going to have more open, guys that aren't on NFL rosters anymore, and then obviously the USFL guys.
Right. Now, I know a lot of people are just, I mean, Mike Mitchell put his report out there a while back, right? And now it's kind of all changed. I don't want Ryan Willis in St. Louis. I don't want him as a Battle Hawk for my team, to be honest with you. The guy I would want, he signed with the Panthers. But I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't mind having Jaywan Pass on the Battle Hawks. But I mean, who really knows? I mean, who really knows?
Would you not want Te'amu?
Well, look, is Te'amu in the draft?
Not today, but so when the Memphis Showboats came out today, right, relocating Tampa, they have their new quarterback. That tells me that Te'amu is not in their plans in that regard. And was it XFL analyst on Instagram was already saying that Te'amu is going to be, when his contract's up at the end of December, he'll be heading to the XFL.
Okay, but now here's the question, though. We've seen Coach Beck. You've seen Coach Beck on our show. You've heard Coach Beck talk about other things. Does Te'amu fit the type of system Coach Beck has? To me, from listening to Coach Beck, as much as I love Jordan, I don't think he fits that system. That's just my opinion. But what do I know? I'm just an armchair video podcaster. So what do I know?
I think it's good, though. I think people will be very surprised to see who makes it into the XFL here from the USFL. Obviously, today, USFL coming out announcing their second hub in Memphis. Lots to talk about there with theories about how did we wind up having Steve Earhart be suing the USFL back earlier this year. Now Memphis is going to be playing where the Liberty Bowl also plays that Steve Earhart helps manage. I mean, obviously Steve doesn't run the stadium, but I don't think those two things are disconnected. And obviously they were talking FedEx and wanting to bring people, but the USFL is obviously wanting to step on the XFL's toes right now with news. I do think it's interesting. I definitely would have done this news after the quarterback selection and after the draft today and not before, because I think that the second the XFL starts assigning quarterbacks, I do think a lot of this is going to go by the wayside right now if you were trying to get ahead of things.
I 100% agree with you on that one. Now, Reid, with you being up in Seattle and you being a Sea Dragon fan, you were at the event. Somebody had earlier made a comment saying that Coach Haslett has confirmed that a lot of the rules from 2020 are carrying over. So you can confirm that also, right?
Yeah, we were at the town hall. He was asked about that. He said any changes he said basically all the rules were coming back. That was his word basically. And that any changes that were made, the average fan watching wouldn't know the difference. So I don't know if that has to do with, are they altering the play clock slightly or things like that, but like double forward pass, going for three, the kickoff, things like that. It sounds like anything visibly demonstrative that people liked with the USFL or XFL back in 2020 will be back.
Right. Now, so with you, because I know you got to get going, so thank you for joining us. Arlington's going to join you later, so just send him over the link so he can hijack your show like you did ours, but that's okay. I still love you, Reid. For the Dragons, who do you want as your quarterback?
Well, I think Steven Montez is kind of confirmed for that. I don't know a lot about him. That's why John Vogel is going to be coming on our stream doing the breakdown of all the quarterbacks as they come about. I still get it. And even I have a lot of friends here that were season ticket holders back in 2020. Oh, we want Brandon Silvers back, or is BJ Daniels coming back? I mean, Silvers is going to be a backup somewhere. He's going to be great. BJ Daniels is retired. He's coaching. He's not. I've even been on other Seattle podcasts where they're like, "Hey, so is BJ Daniels like?" These guys move on. I mean, it's been 3 years.
Right.
I think Silvers will be somewhere, but Steven Montez, I think, is the guy. It was funny, though, that Haslett seemed very disconnected, Coach Haslett, from the offense. And he would be running. He said at the town hall he would be very focused on the defense. Obviously, that's where his strengths are. But he goes, I'm going to leave that up to June Jones. Whatever they want to do on the offense, they can handle.
Here, so I'll give you a little breakdown about your guy, Steven Montez. He's 25, played in Colorado. He's 6'5", 230. He played with the Washington football team, the Detroit Lions, and he played 4 seasons in Colorado and finished with 9,710 yards, 63 touchdown passes, while completing 62.4% of his passes. He also threw for 2,800 yards in his final season with Boulder and 17 touchdowns, also rushed for 960 yards with 11 touchdowns.
Oh, so he's a mobile quarterback is what you're telling me.
Not too bad. And look, if anything that we saw with June Jones, right? right? What is he like? Mobile quarterbacks, right?
I'm excited. I think Seattle's got a good. Randy Mueller is helping put together the team. I think that Seattle, Dragons. I think we're 1-4 at the end of the season back in 2020. I think we'll be more respectable this time. Although I do think we return in the corner with BJ. So.
Right. All right, Reid. Thank you for joining us. I know you got to get ready. Arlington, make sure you hijack Reid's the Markcast. Reid, tell people where they can find your draft special at, because I can't make it.
Yeah, we'll be, you go search the Markcast on YouTube. If you go to themarkcast.com/watch, that'll take you to the video feed. And then afterward, you can go to themarkcast.com/listen, and it'll be up on our podcast feed.
All right, bro. Thank you for joining us. Go take a shower before the show and put your hat on.
What? Come on, dude.
All right, Reid. Thanks for joining us.
That's
Reid from the Markcast. Reid's a good dude. Hey, guys, please go check it out, because Reid is going to break this show down. And I do know that Reid, he had already put it out on his Twitter and all that stuff, that he's going to have like long, extensive stuff on his show, right? And I know we're going to be doing stuff, Arlington. You're going to be doing your stuff there. I'm going to be doing my stuff here.
I'm not going to be at the draft. Why you keep saying that?
But we're still going to do our show. We're going to do a show every day.
Every day?
Yeah, you're going to be in Vegas.
I'm on vacation, man. I'm not going to do no shows.
We're doing the show. What do you like?
The professional got to take a break sometimes, man.
I guess. Now,
got to take a break sometimes.
Arlington, out of our quarterbacks that we have, right? I said I don't want, with you being in Houston, like where do you think guys are going to end up at?
If anything, I wouldn't mind seeing Derek King in Houston, because he does have Houston times.
Is De'Aaron King on this list?
De'Aaron King is on the list before you even did not. He's on the list.
I don't see him. Him.
He'll be there. He has that tie to Houston.
But signed.
Even though he's on the practice squad right now, doesn't mean, because look, it was funny, there was a couple of names that didn't even get looked or weren't on the list, but I'm hoping that they still remain on the list. That was Felix Harper, that had his time with the Cleveland Browns practice squad, right, from Alcorn State, and then Akil Glass, who had some time with Tampa Bay on their practice squad over from A&M, who was the Offensive Player of the Year back in 2020.
Now, see, I would love to see Glass.
Glass makes sense for St. Louis.
Yes, I agree.
I think he would fit Anthony Beck's system.
I do too. I really do too.
Pro style quarterback, 6'5". The dude has a nice arm.
I mean, out of all of these guys that I see on here, and just listening to what coaches said here in St. Louis, the guy that seems to fit the system to me would possibly, let's see, as much as I hate to say it, Brandon Silvers would fit
in St. Louis.
Yeah, he would fit Coach Beck's system. Just by listening to what Coach Beck says.
But you also, going by the list that's there, you don't know what other quarterbacks could be available at this moment either.
You're absolutely right. Look, I know people on here and had said to Amu. I mean, great. I mean, what about Nick Fitzgerald? Why not bring him back?
Does he even want to play?
That's what I'm saying. Bring Jones back from the DC Rona.
Yeah, see, now there's a difference. He wants to play.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But bring him back.
But I mean, that's the thing. If these people don't want to play, because one thing is for sure, at least from what I'm speculating, Bruno Reagan doesn't want to come back.
Nope. Yeah, right here. Where's Flowers? Bring Flowers back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, where is Quentin Flowers?
Yeah, where is he?
Why there's a guy out of UConn, David Pendell. Like, look at him. He fits many of their quarterbacks' systems.
Right. Now, I mean, here's the one thing that I want, right? If you've watched any pro NFL this year, right? We've had some very low scoring games, some very bad games, right? I just want good quality spring football. Marquette King has said he wants to return back to the XFL.
As a matter of fact, he is going to.
That's what he says. He is in the draft pool. You know what I'm saying? But I just want good quality spring football. That's what I want.
And fans all over. the XFL. You cannot get mad if a player that played in 2020 is not playing for your team in 2023.
Just root them on. Root them on.
You can't get mad. I mean, you can get mad, but I'm like, don't go overboard.
Right,
don't go overboard. Like, oh, you're a traitor. You should never. That kind of stuff. Like, come on, man. All of them are trying to get an opportunity to play.
Mm-hmm.
Look, Taylor Russolino.
Yeah.
Think about it. He was the best kicker in 2020.
But look, again, Andrew, don't be upset, though. Don't be upset if we don't get the guys that we want.
If the Battlehawks don't get it, hey, I'll be glad if Marquette King comes to Houston.
Oh, I bet you would.
He'll be in a good spot. I wouldn't be mad if Jordan Teamu played for the Houston Roughnecks.
Brian says it right here. Brian says it right here the best way. Like I've said before, I'm not listening to the rumors of where these.
That's what I'm talking about.
I think we're going to see some surprises. And I absolutely agree. Like, I mean, look, Mike, don't get me wrong. Mike Mitchell. Yeah, there's a few Mizzou players in the draft.
The one name that I was looking at was quarterback Kelly Bryant.
Do what now?
Quarterback Kelly Bryant. His name wasn't featured.
No, it wasn't.
But I would not be surprised if he was getting looked at.
Right, yeah, this is the X-Fan Show Afternoon Delight with your host, me, the loudmouth, the unprofessional professional on the internet. Sitting right over there is my man who will be in Vegas in just a few hours.
I will be in Vegas. I am getting... See, this is dirty. This is a dirty moment right here. You would say some crap like this.
But I didn't say he was going to be coaching there, did I?
No, but you would say some crap like this.
Right. There were other people that were credentialed that said that, not me.
No. But hey, this point here, Kelly Bryant is intriguing. I am the A-Train Honest Lane, by the way.
I would root Kelly Bryant on anywhere he goes. I would
deserve a shot. Yeah,
I do too. But I would root him on.
You know what? Any league that he participates in, or cheer for him. I know he did some things. I think with that fan control football league, the indoor league, but see him out there on the field and actually getting a shot at playing on some 11-on-11. No disrespect to the 7-on-7, but I want to see him out there playing in one of those potential hubs in the USFL or actually playing in one of the 8 teams in the XFL.
All right, Brian says that he has an interesting question for us.
Knock yourself out, man.
Here, Brian, you have an interesting question for us? Let's do this. You ready? Watch this, Arlington. We're going to do this. Brian says he has an interesting question for us, right? So I'm going to do it this way. Let's see something here. No, I thought we were friends on Facebook. Well, Brian, I was going to invite you, but looks like we're not friends on Facebook. So shoot with your question, Brian.
He asks, if you're in charge of your teams, what are you looking at building? So let's see. I like that question. That's a very good question to start off with.
Me, when I'm playing Madden, right? I'm gonna go by based on Madden when I play the coach mode, right?
Okay.
For me, I'm wanting a balanced offense, right?
Okay.
So I want a balanced offense. I want a good quarterback, a good running back that can receive. I want blocking and receiving tight ends. As much as I hate Travis Kelce, he might be one of the best blocking and receiving tight ends there is. I'm not a fan of Travis Kelce's, but I would like a guy like him. As one of my tight ends, as my receivers, I would want a guy kind of like maybe like Wes Welker, Megatron. Let's see. Ocho, who can run down the line. That would be the kind of receiver. Now, like running backs, I would want somebody like a Marshall Faulk type running back, you know? And then I'd go with a 4-6 defense because it's one of the most, huh?
I'm listening. You said 4-6 defense.
4-6 defense is possibly one of the greatest defenses that there are. And if I'm not mistaken, how many 4-6 defenses have won Super Bowls?
A few.
Just a few. So yeah, that's kind of how I'd want. I'd want a balanced offense with a 4-6 defense. What about you?
Okay, so I'm looking at. I'm very pass heavy. That means I will also like to utilize running backs as receivers, right? I just want to. I love the mobile quarterback. I have been a fan of that for a while now. Like especially a guy like a quarterback now, like a Patrick Mahomes or even a Josh Allen type. Okay, my receivers got to catch the ball. You got to catch the ball before you can take off, right? So speed don't mean nothing to me. As long as you can catch the ball and you can get yards after the catch is a bonus. If you can catch the ball and get first down, I'm more first down. I'm not big on deep passing. I'm just like chucking. Chucking gives me first down. I'm gonna just keep moving the chains. On my defensive end, I'm big on 4-3 defenses. Big on them. 4-3 defenses, I'm big on. I like to see.
I like 4-3 defenses, right?
Yeah.
But John Turner says a 46 doesn't work against the spread or an 11 personnel. Well, tell that to the 85 Bears and tell that.
But they didn't play that. But you got to understand, they didn't play a lot of spread offenses, man. You can't do that.
Tell that to the Ravens when they played against a spread offense and they broke all those records. So
they were 3-4 defense. What?
They weren't. No, they weren't. Right? Ravens were not. No, I'm not.
Under 46?
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Under who?
I don't know, but I just like the 46 defense.
Because you ain't even making sense right now, man. Come on.
NFL. Chiefs are the worst.
Just say you like the 46 defense. Just say you like that, and that's it. Don't mention no NFL team other than the 85 Bears, because that's the only damn team that you know.
Ravens were a 3-4.
Thank you.
3-4.
I told you. I don't like the Ravens. 46. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. Just say you like the 46 defense, and that's it.
That's it. I like the 46 defense.
Thank you. That's all you got to say. Don't say nothing else about anybody other teams that use a defense that never ever played that.
Right. Exactly.
So if I'm gonna build, and then plus, you know how they do the fantasy teams and stuff.
Hold on. Stop. You ready? I also got some other big news.
You got big news?
You ready? So our show now will be featured on a new site that just came out.
Nope, you're not going to say it just yet because it ain't time. So, sir, nope, it's not time for that.
Hold on. This one is because the person's on here and he can confirm it. We are going to be now featured on ReviewKansasCity.com.
Well, all right then.
Yeah.
You didn't even tell me this.
Yes, we did. We've talked about this.
You didn't tell me this one.
Oh, I wanted to see what
you know. You like to hold things. You keep things from me.
See, look right here, right there. See, he can confirm
it. You like to hold things from. You keep things from me.
Well, I was wanting to surprise you. You
ain't. I'm keeping it clean today. I'm keeping it clean.
Look, hey, look. You are now going to be featured on a website.
Keeping it clean, but you could have told me, sir. I would have been ready for that.
We have talked about this, but we do have another big announcement coming up soon.
We do, but that's not now.
Huh?
That's not now.
Have you talked to that person yet?
We're getting that together.
Is it? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I don't know. Can you believe it's already an hour into the show?
Yeah, we made it.
I know.
I didn't think we would.
Well, we're supposed to have one more special guest, but I don't know if they are available as of right now.
Yeah, you're going to tell me after the show.
You know exactly who it is. Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, the wheels have landed.
Hey, thank you, Review Kansas City. Thank you for featuring us on the website, and can't wait to have the show featured in the great city of Kansas City. I could call it great city now.
Because apparently, I didn't know this, but we actually have somewhat of a following in Kansas City.
What?
I swear to God, I did not know this. The Rock, and listen, if The Rock came on, that would... Arlington, you're going to be in Vegas. You need to try to track The Rock down.
Hey, you going to mark out, though. You would mark out if you saw The Rock.
I'm gonna mark out when I talk to Dana White again on Saturday.
You gonna mark out for? Oh, that's right.
I've already interviewed Dana White, so I probably won't mark out. See, like there, and this is why, thanks to the good doctor here, KC loves the Hawks, so we were. I'm not putting that comment up. We can't put that comment up. This is an afternoon show. We're not allowed to say cuss words. Apparently, Arlington, we have a fan base in Kansas City, which I didn't know until the good doctor.
Is it because of Jordan Ta'amu though? Remember,
it might be. It might be, but I don't know. I just know that we have. Well, I think a lot has to do with Ryan Willis because he played in Kansas, and that he's going to be the quarterback for the.
We don't know yet. I'm not taking that as Bible until it happens.
Until folks, 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock on XFL.com.
Oh, the doctor says no. It's not because of Jordan.
Okay, we'll find.
It's not because of Jordan. So
XFL.com/draft was where you can catch the selection show today. And
that is true.
At 10 o'clock Eastern time, 9 in the Central, 7 in the Pacific. Drive to the XFL Draft is on the Deuce, ESPN2. So,
here's why he says. Here's why he says he goes. Call goes for the Hawks and the Jayhawks.
The Jayhawks.
So then you got both sides of KC. It's like the west side, east side thing. Okay.
I'm getting to Kansas City, Kansas. Okay. That is like East St. Louis in St. Louis.
Kind of, sort of.
No, it is. Let me say it, not you. Okay. Let me say that, not you.
Hold on. My grandparents lived in East St. Louis. Washington Park off of
Bump Road.
So,
okay.
We've had this.
You make it there, you can make it anywhere.
All right, now, Arlington, let's go like this. With you being in Houston, right?
Yes.
Out of these quarterbacks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who would you like to see in?
Considering that Wade Phillips is going to be defensive minded, right?
Mm-hmm.
You might as well go with somebody that's going to remain at home. And there was a guy that has Houston ties, and I just cannot put my finger on it.
Well, that was King, but he got.
No, it was another. That was another quarterback. That was another quarterback that had Houston ties.
It would have been Jalen because he was
the Prairie View A&M. You said.
Okay.
Clinton could be one. That was another. You mentioned that said Prairie View A&M.
All right, that's who I'm looking for right now.
That Pass, Juwan Pass?
Yes, Juwan Pass. Louisville.
Pass would be good for Houston.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that. But you know what, though? Look, I could see with the way that Juwan Pass played in Louisville and Prairie View.
You never saw him at Prairie View. You might have seen him at Louisville, but you didn't see him.
Right. But I
didn't see him at Prairie View.
I could see him being with Seattle.
I doubt it. No. June Jones knows the type of quarterback he wants. He's going to want somebody.
Look, you guys can laugh all you want. Right? And Arlington, me and you have talked about this off the air, right? Get to that. I can't get to it. My mouse is there. It is. We've talked about this. We've talked about this off the air, right? Johnny Manziel would fit in the XFL. He would fit in the XFL.
That's if you want to play, though.
Right, yeah.
That's if you want to play.
That's true.
I don't think you want to.
The XFL and the NFL will be looking at UTSA next year. The Roadrunners team is fire. Okay.
Exactly, Cordero. He ain't look at no PV. He don't know. The only PV he know about is P-Valley. You see, he's silent, right? He ain't saying nothing, but he know about P-Valley. They don't know nothing about no Prairie View.
Are you ready? What's one of my favorite colleges?
It ain't Prairie View.
What's one of my favorite colleges?
You answer that question.
No. We've talked about this, and you thought I was crazy when I said it.
What, Prairie View?
Nope. Grambling State. What else you got? This is the I almost said it. This is the X Fan Show. Afternoon delights. I am the most unprofessional professional. Dirty. Right there is my partner in crime. And the man will be in Vegas in just a few hours and is a loss of word.
Don't worry about him.
I know, right? Would you like to say who you are, sir?
A-Train Arlington Lane. I'm still looking at him. I'm going to enjoy my vacation. That's what I'm about to do.
We will be broadcasting tomorrow.
What?
Yes.
I just said I'm enjoying my vacation. What are you talking about?
Then I will be broadcasting tomorrow without Arlington. Jeremy goes, Dirty.
I'm enjoying my vacation.
That is true. I definitely would.
Imagine being a bunch of chocolate chips and then all of a sudden you see a white chocolate chip inside there.
They'd all think I lost my goddamn mind.
Exactly. Why are you here?
But it is one of my favorite movies. One of my favorite movies is based off of their famous drumline band. You know? The movie Drumline, which is one of my favorite.
Man, you know what? I'll have to get him off the air because he's starting to get crazy, and that's what he does every time he opens his mouth.
But anyway, I will be broadcasting tomorrow. Arlington will be on vacation. And then, be a big next few days, people. The XFL is here. The cookies are done. And hey, another speculation. Be expecting.
Hey, I'll be on the Markcast in a little bit.
That's right. Yes, Drumline is an underrated movie. Be expecting a big announcement coming out of Vegas. Oops. And I bet you we
suckers.
I bet you we see jerseys today. And remember,
suckers.
A drink. Yeah. Hot water.
He gone too. See y'all next time.
Hot water.